Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna.
First of January, and we had a very good attendance. And today also, yes, it's a Sunday holiday, and we had many other options, but still you chose to come here. Thank you very much. And this week is also very special. On 10th of January, we'll be celebrating Vaikuntha Ekadashi. It's considered one of the most auspicious day. And today we thought that we'll spend some time understanding what does it really mean. So whenever we have some certain festival, usually people celebrate festival means some social program, some cultural program, some party time. They say, right, like whenever there is a sports, whenever there is a game, right? If India wins, let's have a party. If India loses, let's have a party. So, for a devotee also, right? Whether there's a birthday celebration, whether there's a marriage celebration, or if somebody leaves the body, wherever, whatever the function it is, we chant the holy names of the Lord. Mantratas tantratas chidram dese kalaravastuta sarvam karoti nischidram anusankirtanam tava. Yes, we can perform so many rituals and activities, but everything has to be done for the pleasure of the Lord. Otherwise, whatever the mantra or tantra we chant, because of our inefficiency, because of our imperfect senses, because of limited ingredients that we have, we cannot have a perfect worship to the Supreme Lord. But whenever we chant the holy names of the Lord, then it becomes perfect. That's what the scripture says. That's what this verse says. Desa kalahara vasturam. Desa kalapatra. There could be some limitations. There could be some problems. But whenever we sankirtan, once we chant the holy names of the Lord, everything becomes perfect. So yes, as we'll be celebrating this Vaikuntha Ekadashi on this Friday, we thought that we'll speak on three things today. We'll speak on what is Ekadashi, very briefly. Usually, in our previous year sessions, we usually talk about Ekadashi very elaborately. What is Ekadashi? How to celebrate Ekadashi? What is the significance of Ekadashi, and so on. But today we'll just go through very quickly. Then we'll talk a little bit about what is Vaikuntha, and then we'll talk about how to enter Vaikuntha. Okay. So, what is Ekadashi? What is the meaning of Ekadashi? Fasting. Okay. Ekadashi मतलब है ना एंटीना ऊपर हो जाता है, ओह फास्टिंग करने का, कुछ नहीं लेने का, what will happen? Do you know, there was one nice story. Once upon a time, monkeys also thought that let's do on Ekadashi. Because we have heard that there is some piety, there is some punya in doing Ekadashi. So let's, we also try. And then they started, early on the morning Ekadashi. Okay, let's do it. All the monkeys sat together on the branch. And one of the monkeys started saying, do you know that once you do Ekadashi fasting, you'll be really tired next day. So what we should do? At least we should pluck the fruit and we should keep it, right? So that we might not have energy for tomorrow. So that at least it is there, then we can really take it and eat it nicely. Then another monkey said, yeah, that's very good. Thank you for your idea. I have one more brilliant idea. What is that? Yeah, why to really keep it there? Let's keep it in the hand only. Because we might not have energy to even kind of take the fruit and keep it in our hand. That's a brilliant idea. And they really kept it. And the other monkey said, yeah, I really agree, but I don't know if we'll have energy to put it in our mouth also. Let's keep it in the mouth. All right? And that's how, because tomorrow we might not have energy even to take it to the mouth. Right? And do you know what happens next? Right? So, before proceeding ahead, right, because everybody thinks that Ekadashi means and is a fasting, but our ISKCON is a feasting movement. Every day there is a feast. And we'll discuss about today that how on Ekadashi also we can have a wonderful feast. Because Srila Prabhupada has mentioned it, and he was really talking about one bhajan, it's called Gaurangi Radhuti Pada, and it's just given one paragraph. In one paragraph, you see he has really given this purport, and you see what is the essence of this purport. I'm just reading it, but please be careful and understanding what is the essence of this paragraph that Prabhupada is saying. Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are very pleasing because the basic principles of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movements are chanting, dancing, and eating Krishna Prasad. He made his headquarters in Jagannath Puri and to dance, chant, and then immediately call for prasadam to be distributed to the devotees. They were so pleased that every day hundreds of men would come to chant, dance with Lord Chaitanya. The temple proprietor, the king of Orissa, Maharaj Prataprudra, had an open order to the workers in the temple to supply as much prasad to Lord Chaitanya's devotees as they wanted. Therefore, his pastimes are very pleasing. Chant, dance, and take prasad. If one is captivated by the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, simply by chanting, dancing, and eating prasad, the dirty things in his heart will all become cleansed. The heart of anyone who take to this movement of chanting, dancing, and eating Krishna Prasad will surely be cleansed of all material contamination. Okay, did you like this purport? What is the essence of this purport? What is the essence of our movement? Yeah. Yes, this is so simple. And our movement, kind of the whole purpose is, right? Usually, once you say one time, okay, you understood. But if somebody says 2 times, you are emphasizing it further. If you say 3 times, you are emphasizing it a little further. But how many times here it is there? 6 times. 6 times, right? Prabhupada has really mentioned to really emphasize the whole objective of our parampara is chanting, dancing, and feasting. Right? And he has mentioned that, yes, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who started the Sankirtan movement around 500 years back, why he chose to stay in Puri for close to 18 to 24 years. Why? He's saying that, all the devotees, they will come from everywhere for chanting and dancing, but we need also, after chanting and dancing, we need what? Prasad. And especially Jagannath Puri is really known for prasad, that Anand Bazaar, right? Yes, we go to Jagannath Darshan, and after that we come out, and then we really go to Anand Bazaar, right? Yes, as many devotees can come, and Lord Jagannath can feed them, right? Yes, this is all about our movement. So then, why are you talking about Ekadashi fasting? Okay, so we thought that we'll spend a little bit time to understand some basics. That in Bhagavad Gita there is a nice verse which says that in the 18th chapter, 5th verse, Yajna dana tapa karma natyajyam karyam eva tat yajna danam tapascheva pavaneni manisinam. These 3 activities has to be done by everybody. And somehow or other, everybody is doing these 3. Yajna, dana, tapa. These 3 things has to be done by everybody. Yajna, yes, somebody is doing a fire sacrifice yajna. Somebody is doing, yajna of traveling, 4 hours in the traffic. That's also yajna. Right? Dana, yes, we do charity. Either we do charity for some good cause, or people do charity on the New Year day. Okay, I'll give as much as you can drink, right? Or different kind of tapasya people do. Right? So these 3 activities, it's really up to us how we want to do it. When the great souls, they do these 3 activities to purify themselves, not to enjoy. Right? So these 3 activities have to be done by all. And how, as a Vaishnavas, how we do it, now we'll discuss further. So before going there, the literal meaning of Ekadashi is really the 11th, Ekadasa. Like the Pratipada, Dutiya, Tritiya, right? Chaturthi, Panchami, we have Akshaya Tritiya, and we have Ganesh Chaturthi, and Basant Panchami, like that, right? So we have a Vijayadasami, and we have Ekadashi. So Ekadashi means is the 11th and lunar day, right? Either in the Shukla Paksha or Krishna Paksha, once we have a 30 days, like, right? So that's how we have, in a month, how many Ekadashis we have? 2. And in a year, 24, right? On specially especially on the leap year, we can have 26. And of course, earlier, before coming to Krishna consciousness, Ekadasi means in Maharashtra, we know that is Asadhi Ekadasi. Or here, right, in South India, people talk about Ekadasi means only Vaikuntha Ekadasi. No, there are 24 Ekadasis are there. Okay. And we understood what is the literal meaning of Ekadasi. And now what is Upavasa means? Vasa means staying. Upa means closer. Upavasa means staying closer to the Lord. Right? Upanishad, they say. Right? So Upavas means it is not to just fast our senses. It means that we have to engage all our senses for the pleasure of the Lord. We have to keep ourselves closer to the Lord. That is the meaning of Upavas. Upavas is not to really have a feast or not to have a complete fast. The actual purpose of the Upavas is to stay closer to the Lord, to remain absorbed in the service of the Lord, to remain, at the shelter of the Lord, remembering His Nam, Roop, Guna, Lila of the Lord. Okay, so now, okay, so there are, so many reasons are there, right? So many devotees have given so many reasons, but let's just go very fast. There is something called scientific reason, right? So scientifically also there are some scientists who have received Nobel Prize, right? While kind of understanding this philosophy, and also the next one as well, where they talk about when the cell division happens, this one part of the chromosome, which is called the telomere, you can say, like on the spare of chromosome, on the tip of this chromosome, right? There is a kind of a substance which really binds that chromosome, and as the cell division happens, it really gets reduced, right? But and as this telomere gets reduced, this chromosome also gets little damaged, and then that's where you get this early old age, this Parkinson's disease and so many other diseases, right? And it is mentioned that how we should really make an endeavor to reduce the cell division as less as possible, and to keep this telomere intact. And for that, they have come up with something called that if you really do some fasting, right, from the scientifically, this is the conclusion of this scientist who got this Nobel Prize. Okay, so if you I just don't remember that guy's name who got this Nobel Prize. Yes. Okay, sir. Yes, there is a guy, right, who is called Elizabeth Blackburn and Carol and Jack, right? These are the guys who really did this research and really found out, right, that once you do the fasting, this really telomere remains intact and it really helps your body, right? And that's the reason also, right, scientifically also, that prescribe this intermittent fasting. So once you fast your body, it really keeps your body healthy. And there's another process, another Nobel scientist, right? And this Nobel scientist, he's called Christian D. Doob, right? So he also kind of found out something, that in our cell also, see, our cell is so scientific, right? Like there is some part of the body which really creates energy. There is some part, right, which really carries the information, from one generation to another generation, from one body to another body, right? And it has also some mechanism which really takes care of the cleaning of that cell, right? And that's called phagy, the cleaning part. And there's an automatic cleaning, right? It's called autophagy process, right? And it is mentioned that if this toxins which really produces, right, if it is not cleaned, it really creates even cancer. It really creates cancer. And this Nobel scientist, once again, right, they also prescribe that once you do fasting, right, for 12 to 24 hours, and it triggers this autophagy process, it helps in cleaning that cell appropriately, so that we have a much more longevity, right? And this is called high vessel autophagy process, and they recommend this 48-hour fasting, right? And yes, it is also confirmed by later this Japanese guy. It's called Yoshinoru Usumi. There's some Japanese guy in the 90s. He really confirmed this, how it really helps. Once you do this fasting, it really helps our body as well. And now, it's beyond scientific reason, even the astronomically also, right? And it is mentioned that, like, especially, okay, now from the geographic perspective, right? Like, we have this, right, sun, and then the earth, right? And there's a moon, right? And we see that during certain days, we have high tide in the ocean, right? And there are some days where we have low tide. Why? It's all because of the position of the sun and moon, right? And we see that, especially, on the new moon and the full moon, right? How there is a high tide is there. What does it mean? The water, is really being attracted by the force of the sun and moon once they are coming together in a line. And this process has been really found out how it really impacts even the cell of a plant or an animal as well. And that's why, it is mentioned that a lot of people, right, they go through a lot of diseases during this time, right? Like, especially from 11th to 15th day, like, Ekadashi to Purnima or Ekadashi to Amavasya. Because during that time, your water content really gets disturbed in the cell, and that creates a lot of diseases, right? And yes, this is once again some scientists, who have really done some research, have found that how this water content of this body gets changed with the change of the phase of the moon. Right? And then they said that, right, if there is a lesser water content, and the body really becomes steady during that time, right? So what does it really mean? It means that, especially once you take grains, right, the grains absorbs a lot of water. Like, especially who are doing harvesting of rice or wheat, they know that these are the crops, they really need maximum water, for their harvesting. Once you take this water, like this grains, like rice and wheat also, it takes a lot of water, and it really keeps within the body. But if you don't take grains, like, especially it is mentioned that it takes a couple of days to get digested, right? So on the Ekadashi or on Dwadasi, like, this is the days where we take less grains or no grains, then our body absorbs or retains less water or appropriate amount of water, so that we really get free from all these diseases. So there's the third reason. And the fourth reason also, they talk about how this man and moon, they are also related, right? How with the different phases of the moon, right, how it really affects the mind as well, right? And then there are some also Puranic stories as well there, right, from Garga Samhita, Padma Puran, how Lord has really told that, like, we should not eat grains. So we'll not go in detail. So, but for us, right, apart from all this scientific reason, astronomical reason, right, for Puranic reason, but the most important thing, all the Vaishnavas, we do this Ekadashi because it really, performed by our acharyas, because it really pleases Krishna, right? So our founder Acharya, even Srila Prabhupada, he says that to observe Ekadashi Vrata and Dwadasi Vrata means to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those interested in advancing in Krishna consciousness must observe Ekadashi Vrata regularly. And recently, along with our Karthik Prabhu, we went to Udupi, with around 80 devotees, our Udarya Prabhu and so on. They had organized a wonderful yatra for all of us. And this Udupi is also called Arna Brahma Khetra, where they really distribute prasadam every day for the lunch and dinner sumptuously, right? But on the day of Ekadashi, they have a big lock, right, on their kitchen and also on their dining hall, right? So, they don't take anything on the day of Ekadashi, because yes, it is followed by our acharyas, and all because we are part of this Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, and everybody in this Sampradaya, we really follow Ekadasi, and we dedicate more time for the pleasure of Krishna, so that we chant more, we study more, we remember more, for the glorification of their lordships. Okay, so like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was also a young boy, at that point, even he had told his mother also, oh mother, Sachi Mata, you should also observe Ekadasi. Because in some people in the eastern part of India, like Odisha, Bengal, and so on, they say that, oh, only, like widowed lady, they should perform Ekadasi, not the, the Sadhavas and so on, right? But here we hear that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself, advocated that this is the essence of the scriptures, and somehow, some people concocted that idea, polluted that idea, but then the original theme is that everybody from the age of 8 to 80 years, or as long as our health permits, we should observe Ekadasi. Right? Yes, this in nutshell, this Ekadasi is really a feast. It need to keep our body, mind, and soul fit. Right? This Ekadasi is really meant for that. And yes, when we really observe, usually start observing this Ekadasi on the night of Dasami. So preferably on the night of Ekadasi also, we should take very light. And usually maybe we'll share with you this app as well, this Vaishnava calendar app. Usually follow a certain calendar, right? And that we really get a trigger. Okay, this is the day of Ekadasi. That's on that day, right? We celebrate this, and on the next day, this is called Dwadasi. That's called Paran time. And during that time, we really break our fast. So like this Ekadasi is coming on 10th of January and 11th January. We break our fast from, I think, 6:45 to 8:24, like that. And how do you, what kind of food we should eat and what we should avoid? We should avoid all the grains on that day, right? And also, right, all these pulses and, everything, right? Or what are the kind of food items containing these products as well. And then, right, there are different kinds of fastings there. Some people do complete nirjala, but yes, to start with, or it might not be recommended for everybody. Yes, usually we will celebrate once in a year this nirjala. Otherwise, devotees can do falahar, we can do fruits, fruit juices, and so on. Or most of the devotees, they do anukalpa, right, where we take this fruits and roots, and we can make so many sabjis. And especially if you go to our Hare Krishna TV and so on, you can really find a lot of recipes as well. But once again, we really observe Ekadasi so that we can spend more time for Krishna, not really preparing all these recipes. Right? So that even Mataji or Prabhuji, whoever cooking, they can really spend as less time as possible in any other things and spend more time for Krishna. Right? Okay. Any questions so far? What is Ekadasi and how to observe Ekadasi? Now let's talk about the next word that we call as a Vaikuntha. What is the meaning of Vaikuntha? The word of the Lord. Okay. What else? Yes. No Kuntha. Kuntha. Like this Vaikuntha is also a sandhi of two, right? Like Vaikuntha. Kuntha means misery, problem, anxiety. Right? Vaikuntha means no Kuntha. This is a place where there is no anxiety at all. There is no problem at all. Right? That's what Lord is saying. Mahapupittu kanteo dukkhalam asasatam. Napnuvanti mahatmanam samsiddhim paramam gata. Right? Right? Like, this is the place where there is no dukkha. At every step, there is a dance. Every word is a song. And everybody is really engaged in the service of the Lord. And this is the place, it is free from sense gratification and envy. Envy means what? The competition. Competitive mentality to pull each other, right? That mentality is not there in Vaikuntha. Everybody is coming together to serve the Lord. Just like in geometry, we have heard that there is a circle, and you can really make number of concentric circles, and it really looks beautiful. But then once you have multiple circles with multiple centers, it looks really chaotic, right? Or like in the Prabhupada gives another example. We have a pond. Once you put some stone on the center of the pond again and again, it creates beautiful ripples. But if you put the stones in multiple places, it creates that chaos, right? And similarly, Lord Krishna also saying in the Bhagavad Gita, this peace formula. Anybody knows what is the peace formula Lord has given in Bhagavad Gita? Bhaktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheswaram suhrudam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam santi ruchati. Everybody should understand that Krishna is a center. Krishna is the center. Once understand Krishna is the center, Krishna is the proprietor, enjoyer, controller of everything, and then we do everything for his pleasure. And we don't keep ourselves in the center. And now we call our community as called Swetadeepa circle. And the Swetadeepa circle means it is a circle and center is Krishna. Our purpose is to serve the Supreme Lord Krishna. And especially in our Srimad Bhagavatam, so we have two books, one called Bhagavad Gita and another Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is a discussion between Krishna and Arjuna. And Srimad Bhagavatam is a discussion between, you can say, Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami. When Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die within 7 days, then he approached Sukadeva Goswami. And he really heard beautiful pastimes of the Lord. Right? And also he heard about the beautiful pastimes of the devotees of the Lord. Right? Here in this section, there is a nice pastime where all the 4 Kumaras, they are entering Vaikuntha. And of course, later on, this pastime goes that how these 4 Kumaras, they curse Jaya and Vijaya, and the Jaya and Vijaya, they appear as the demons, like Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, or Ravan, and Kumbhakarna, and so on. Right? But before that, as these Kumaras, they were kind of coming into this Vaikuntha, they really see what exactly is Vaikuntha. Would really like to know what exactly that Vaikuntha looks like. Because yes, the whole purpose of right, all our life is to go back home, back to Godhead. They say in Purandara Das also say something, right? What is that? Alli de nammane, illi vande sumanne. Right? So yes, that is our real home, and we have just come here simply, just to do some time pass. Right? So yes, we have to really go back home, back to Godhead. Or like in Marathi, what is this? Tukaram says, Javachiya Gava, right? Right? Like, yes, let's go back home, back to Godhead. Right? So what is that? Vaikuntha would look like? Like as these 4 Kumaras are entering, and they are seeing that, all the residents, they are engaged in the devotional service to the Supreme Lord without any desire for sense gratification. And all the residents are having a form of Chaturbhuja. Right? One time, we are going in a yatra and we are entering onto Vishnu temple, and there were also 2, 400 forms on the entrance only. And one devotee asked, why Lord Vishnu is standing on the door? And then we said, it's not Vishnu, they are the Vishnu Dutas. So, they are looking like Vishnu, but their mood is, their emotion is to be the servant of the servant. Their mood is to serve. Right? And what is the difference between Lord Vishnu and this Vishnu Dutas, or who are the residents of Vishnu? All the Vishnu Dutas, all the residents of Vishnu, they don't have this Kaustuva Mani and Srivatsa. These are the 2 things that is missing, and these are the 2 things that is additional in Lord Vishnu. Otherwise, everybody looks same. Right? Everybody, having this Chaturbhuja form, and with the desire, with the mood to serve the Supreme Lord. But not to be the really enjoyer there. That's the first thing. And the second thing, in the verse number 15, it is talking about that how nobody had any, were in the mode of passion or ignorance. Right? Passion means, like we discussed in our 3 modes of nature, who is pulling the strings. Right? There we talked about the qualities of passion, what is ignorance, alasa, nidra, pramada, and then we talked about how there is a trishna, there is a hankering, and all that. All these qualities are completely missing in Vaikuntha. There is only Suddha Sattva, and there is only pure goodness, where there is nothing else apart from the desire to please the Lord, to love the Lord. Love means to serve, and serve means, love means to please, please means to serve. If I want to love somebody, means I want to please somebody. How can I really please? By serving. Right? Yes, that is the mood there in Vaikuntha. And it is mentioned that even though all the trees, right? Like once you go to the mango tree here, only in a specific season, only in mango tree, we get a mango. But there in Vaikuntha, right? Angani, yes, Sakarendra Vrittimanti, like, and of course, Lord can perform anything through his any of the limbs. Similarly, even you can go to the any tree, and they're called Kalpataru Vriksha. Kalpataru, like, you desire, and any time from any tree, whatever fruit you like, you'll get it. Right? That's what it is, right? And all these trees are spiritual, they are personal, right? Everybody have their emotions, to serve the Supreme Lord. And all the residents there, right? All the devatas, they keep on flying, right? That time we are thinking that, oh, only now we have aeroplanes, even in Vaikuntha also, for Kumaras also, they saw that aeroplanes there, and they saw that how the different residents, they were going in the aeroplane, and their wives, they were not, agitated by the sensual desires to enjoy, with opposite sex, but they were completely engaged in singing the activities of the Lord, and singing the Nam Rupa Guna Lila of the Lord, right? And it is being continued, that how there are so many birds were there, some transcendental birds were there, like pigeon, cuckoo who sings so nicely, right? Crane which looks beautiful, swan, parrot, everybody they were singing. But then suddenly they heard that there is one bumblebee who is singing the glories of the Lord. Govindam Adipurusam Tamaham Bhajami. Once they heard that this bumblebee, usually what is the bumblebee does? It goes around, right? But this bumblebee, he was really chanting the glories of the Lord. And hearing that, all the other birds, even the cuckoo, parrot, swan, everybody, they stopped their singing. They stopped their cooing to hear the glories. Once again, what do you hear? And how all these entities are non-envious. It's not that I want to show myself how beautifully I can sing. The Vaikuntha mood is how we should prioritize and focus. And if somebody is really pleasing the Lord, let's give him the opportunity so that he can really sing and we'll just hear. Right? We can also get as much benefit, right, by just hearing the glories of the Lord rather than only just being the center of attraction. Right? And there are so many beautiful flowers are there. It is mentioned that Mandara, Kunda, Kuravaka, Utpala, Champaka, Arna, Punnaga, Nagakesava, Bakula, Lily, Parijata. So many flowers are there, and everybody wants to serve the Lord. But then they thought that Lord specially likes which one? Tulasi. Yes. Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Prayasi. He's a Krishna Prayasi. He's a Vishnu Priya. He's a Krishna Priya. And Lord does not take anything if Tulasi is not offered to that. And always Lord wears Tulasi garland. So yes, Lord loves Tulasi. And all the flowers, they really go away. And they tell Tulasi, you please go and you serve the Lord. Right? This is the mood of Vaikuntha. Right? And then next one, yes, so many concerts, so many people, they were just going around, right, without stimulated by passion, right, to just satisfy our passional desires, but only thing is to serve the Supreme Lord. Even it is mentioned that there are so many goddess of fortune, Mother Lakshmi, they were sweeping the marble floors so that somehow or other they get a glance of the Supreme Lord, right? This is what the spiritual world, the Vaikuntha would look like, where there is no sense gratification and there is no envy. Envy means envy, no vacancy. No vacancy of if somebody has having any competitive, any kind of, this jealousy, this competitive attitude, of dragging, pulling each other, backbiting each other, some selfish attitude. Lord does not like it. Lord does not like any this Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. Anybody is having that, no vacancy for you. Okay. So now, okay, we heard about Ekadashi, we heard about Vaikuntha, but now how to enter Vaikuntha? Right? Especially this Vaikuntha Ekadashi is celebrated in this, Sri Sampradaya. Like we have 4 Sampradayas called Brahma Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, and Rudra Sampradaya. This is the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas in our Sanatana Dharma. Right? Once you talk about Sri Sampradaya, there are different alvars are there. And there's one alvar called Namma Alvar. Namma Alvar. Right? Some of you have gone to any of this Vishnu temple here, you will find the 12 alvars are there. 5th alvar is Namma Alvar, who really appeared. It is around 43 days after, Krishna disappeared, or the beginning of this Kali Yuga. And so it is mentioned that on this Vaikuntha Ekadashi, Lord came in front of this Vaikuntha gate to receive Nammalvar, to bring him back to the spiritual world. But yes, Nammalvar, he went back to Godhead, he went to Vaikuntha. But what is the process for us to go back to Vaikuntha? Is there any way that we can go? Yes, we can also follow that door on the day of Vaikuntha Ekadashi. You see that a lot of these Balaji temples, a lot of Vishnu temples, they have something called Vaikuntha Dwara. It is mentioned that once you enter and go for darshan through this Vaikuntha Dwara, you can also get a ticket to go back to Godhead, right? But you have to ensure that you have to keep the ticket with you, because sometimes you get the ticket, let's say to go to, let's say, Delhi, but somehow if you miss the ticket, or somehow that even the e-ticket also gets lost, will you get an entry now to the flight? No, right? So it is important that not only you get the ticket, but you must keep the ticket also, because some people, Prabhuji, last time so I attended Vaikuntha Ekadashi, but still now I'm not sure if I'll be eligible to go back to Godhead. But you have to ensure that I have to keep the ticket also. Right? Otherwise, somehow Maya, the external potency of the Lord, she also tries to take away. If you don't deserve, somehow she will drag you. Or even if you want to go to airport, somehow you will see that, oh, there is a nice restaurant is there. Oh, you really get bewildered by the traffic. Oh, let's not go. Somehow you really miss the flight. Right? So we have really got the ticket to go back to Godhead, but somehow we really miss the flight. We should not do that mistake. But then how do you really keep the ticket? How we should really increase that enthusiasm? And then our Acharya is saying that we can experience Vaikuntha even in this world. And how to do it? Lord Krishna has given a very wonderful success formula. Would like to hear? Yes, he has given it in Bhagavad Gita. Right? This is there in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in the 55th verse. That's why we say that how Bhagavad Gita is a manual of everyone. Right? And Lord Krishna has given in multiple verses. Like anybody knows in which of the verses Lord Krishna talks about how you can really come back to me? Anybody knows? There are beautiful verses which says 9.34 also he says, Man manabhav madbhakto madhyaj imam namaskuru mam ivaisasi uktvaibam atma parayana. Then in 18.65 also says same verse, Man manabhav madbhakto madhyaj imam namaskuru mam ivaisasi satyam te prati jane priyosi me. There are so many verses. He says, Bhakta mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvata tato mam tattvato jnata visade tad anantaram. By knowing this, you will come to me. By following this, you will come to me. He has given so many formulas through which we can really go back to Godhead. So we have to just take this formula and implement it in our life so that we can really go back to Godhead smoothly, seamlessly. And now today we'll talk about another very beautiful formula that Lord has given to all of us. In this formula, he has given 5 steps to us. How many? 5 steps. Would you like to follow and would you like to hear that? Yes. Okay. Please repeat after me. Mat karmakran mat paramo mad bhakta sangavarjita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yasamam eti pandava mat karmakran mat paramo mad bhakta sangavarjita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yasamam eti pandava. So he has given 5 formulas here, 5 steps, 5 things to be done. Mat karmakran means you engage whatever you do in my service. Mat karmakran. Mat parama means understanding that I am the supreme personality of Godhead. I am the supreme goal of life. Third, mad bhakto, be my devotee. Okay? And fourth is sangha varjita. Sangha varjita means free from bad association, bad habits, bad things, right? Sangha varjita. That's the fourth. And fifth is nirvaira. Nirvaira means nirvaira sarva bhutesu, being friend with everybody and not being enemy with anyone. Right? That's what we talked about, right? We should be free from envy. Nirvaira sarva bhutesu. This is the 5 things. Once again, mat karmakran, engaging all our activities for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Mat parama, prioritizing the Supreme Lord, understanding the Lord Krishna is the Supreme, Godhead. And third is that be my devotee, Mad Bhakta. Fourth, Sangha Varjita, free from the bad association, bad habits, bad things. And Nirvaira Sarva Bhutesu. It means that not being enemy to anyone. Right? So now, maybe you can, I don't think any of you have Bhagavad Gita, but of course, maybe once you go back, you can just read this beautiful purport that Prabhupada has given. Right? Maybe I'll just read a couple of paragraphs or a couple of lines, I would say, and you can just hear attentively. So Prabhupada is saying in the beginning of the purport in this verse, anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all personalities of Godhead on the Krishna Loka planet in the spiritual sky, be intimately connected with the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, must take this formula. Prabhupada is saying, whoever wants to go to Vaikuntha, Krishna Loka, go look, they should take this formula. Right? Formula is open secret. As stated by the Supreme Lord himself. He himself is saying from the lotus mouth. Krishna is giving the formula. And Prabhupada is writing, this verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. This is the sum and substance. This is the essence. This is a summary of the Bhagavad Gita. You just do 5 things and you really go back to Godhead. Isn't it so wonderful? And yes, the Bhagavad Gita is a book directed for the conditioned soul who are engaged in the material world with the purpose of lording it over material nature, who do not know the real spiritual life. The Bhagavad Gita is meant to show how one can understand his spiritual existence and his really eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And to teach how one can go back home, back to Godhead. Here is the verse which clearly explains the process through which one can attain success in the spiritual life. So what it is really mentioned, this is a formula, this is the verse which really tells us how we can go back home, back to Godhead. And once we follow this formula, we'll smoothly go back, we'll smoothly go in our journey. Right? There is this nice story in Krishna's pastime. Right? One day, Krishna said that, oh, Maya, I want to really take all my cows and calves to the forest, right, for grazing. And all the gopis, they got really bewildered, how come, right, Krishna will go, he's all alone and there are so many kind of impediments are there. And then Krishna said, yes, Maya, I want to go. But then Yasodhama said, okay, I'll ensure that you get a nice shoe for yourself. You get a nice pair of shoes for yourself, otherwise there are a lot of pebbles are there, thorns are there, it will prick, your soft, lotus feet. And then Krishna said, if you want to do that, you have to do it for all my 9 lakhs cows as well. Then Yasodhama is like, how can we do that for the 9 lakhs cows to get a overnight, shoes for them? So then Krishna said, okay, then I will just, go on my own, as my cows and calves are going. And all the gopis said, how it is possible, there are so many thorns and pebbles, that will really prick Krishna. So what they would do, all the gopis, overnight, they will work whole night. What they will take out, okay, Krishna wants to go Bhaniravan today, or he will go to Mahavan today. Based on that, they will really take out all the thorns and pebbles. They will work overnight along with the help of Brinda Devi. And next day morning, when Krishna would be walking, listen how all the sand is so soft, so beautiful, and then Krishna would say, oh, this is the love of my devotee, this is the love of my gopis. They have done so many things so that I really walk smoothly. And as I am known as a Bhakta Vatsala, I have also to reciprocate them with their love. So what can I do? I will really give Bhagavad Gita. I will really give this Bhagavad Gita through which they can really come back to me smoothly, seamlessly, without any obstacles, without any pebbles, without any thorns. Because it said that in this path of going back to Godhead also, there are so many processes are there, so many philosophies are there, which are really like pebbles and thorns. Right? Somebody says, oh, ye kar lo, wo kar lo, aap, ye chale jaoge, udhar chale jaoge, idhar mere paas aa jaओ. All that really hodgepodge is going on in the matter of, in the name of spirituality, in the name of religion. But Krishna is saying, I am really giving you this Bhagavad Gita, through which you can come to me. And just you take this one sloka, right? One out of this 100 slokas, here he is giving this formula. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to go anywhere else. Just follow this formula, you will come back to me. How Lord is so great. How his Lord is so sweet. Right? So, right, that's how Lord has given us this Beautiful formula as a reciprocation to the love of the gopis. Right? And here, mat karma krin. Mat karma krin means what? You engage all your activities onto me. So whatever you do, right? Yes, Prabhupada has given beautiful examples. You are a businessman. Yes, you do as a business, for the pleasure of the Lord. You are a student. You study for the pleasure of the Lord. You are cooking, cook for the pleasure of the Lord. Whatever you do it for the pleasure of the Lord. Right? Like once again on Krishna's pastime. Right? So all of us know that there was one big Aghasur had come. It was a snake sent by Kamsa, right, to kill Krishna. And all the Gopas, they thought, oh, it's fun. Today we see there is a very beautiful cave somehow has appeared. Let's go inside the cave and let's play. And some of the boys were thinking, I don't know if it is a cave. Some bad smell also coming out from this cave. And then the other boys were thinking in the back. They saw that. What? Krishna is coming. Who is the killer of Putana? Just in a couple of days, he had killed Putana. Why should really afraid? Krishna is there not to take care. So they really went inside that, Aghasur's mouth. Right? And all of us know that story. As soon as they really entered that Aghasur's mouth, all the boys, they become unconsciousness, with the poisonous fumes of Aghasur. And of course, as that Aghasur was about to close the mouth, Krishna entered, his mouth, and then of course, with his glance of Krishna, all the boys, they got the consciousness. And then of course, Krishna killed that Aghasur, right, and delivered. But then what our Acharya are saying that, as, right, we are going to our work also, it is also going to the mouth of Aghasur. Right? Yes, it's very difficult. There is so much of poison there. Right? So much of poison. Right? But before we enter, we really got scared. Oh, whether I'll really get unconscious, I'll really forget Krishna, what will really happen to me? Before going to the office, we should really pray to the Krishna. We should pray to our deity. Oh Krishna, I am entering. Now you please take care of me. That's why somebody was saying that before entering the 9 a.m. reality, you join the 5 a.m. club. What is that? Before entering the 9 a.m. reality to our official corporate world, right? You enter the 5 a.m. club. 5 a.m. club means you spend some time, connecting yourself to the Lord by chanting sincerely from our heart, by studying the scriptures, by offering our prayer to Lord Narasimha, Tulasi Devi, and so on. Once you join this 5 a.m. club, then you don't have to see that 12 p.m. Disaster. Right? This is the formula Lord has given us. So whatever you do, first thing, you offer it for the pleasure of the Lordships. Right? Yes, it is very important that this art of working is what? We do right activities. We always remember the Lord. Right? And we offer results to the Supreme Lord. Because we really suffer because of the expectation to some attachment. We are not really attached to the fruits of what we do. We do it as an offering to the Supreme Lord. And then, quickly, next, Mat Paramo. Mat Paramo means just understanding that, right, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. This process of bhakti is the supreme. It's the most simplest, most easiest. And let's take this process. And this bhakti process is all about, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Arjanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. It's so simple. Navavida Bhakti is there. You hear, you chant, you just remember the Lord, you offer something to the Lord. Alright? Or our Acharyas have given simple 5 formula. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Sravana Mathura Vasa Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. These are 5 limbs. It's a process of bhakti. What is a bhakti? Sadhu Sangha, you associate with the devotees. Second, Nama Kirtan, you chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Bhagavat Shravan, always you hear, you study Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? And fourth is Mathura Vas. You make your residence in some holy place, or you make your house as holy place. Right? That's what we call as a bhavan. In our first sessions in our Gita course, we talked about how we can make our house as a bhavan by keeping Bhagavan, right, in the center. Right? And Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan, you keep the deity as a center, as a proprietor, as a controller, as the enjoyer of the house. And we are as the trustee in the house and not the enjoyer of the house. And with that, you see how our relationship will be with our spouse, with our family members, with our children. And because all are the property of the Lord, right? Whatever we have, they are the property of the Lord. And we are there as a trustee to take care of them, right? And yes, we prioritize this process of bhakti, over all the other activities. Like some of might have heard about this experiment, right? Somebody was putting a, one professor had asked, that, okay, this is jar, and now you have a big stone, pebble, sand, and water, right? And you have to put everything into the jar. So is it possible that some guys, some students came, first they put water, they put sand, then pebbles, and then they try to put big rocks. Was it possible to fit it? No. But the intelligent one is what? First you put the big rocks, then you put the pebbles, then you put the sand, then you put the water, then everything will fit in. Because we take care of the first, water or the pebbles, and you try to put the, rock, we are not able to fit our spiritual life. Oh, I'm not getting time for chanting. I'm not getting time for studying Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Why? Because we have already put all these worldly, mundane things first. First, we keep our connection to the Supreme Lord in the beginning. And then you will see that how everything will fit in place. Our time for the family, our time for the corporate world, our time for our social life, everything will fit in place. But first, we have to join the 5 a.m. club. We have to prioritize. And this is the time, right? In the beginning of the year, this is the resolution we can take. How we can prioritize our spiritual life. How we can really connect ourselves to the Supreme Lord. Okay. And then, Mad Bhakta. Mad Parama, Mad Bhakta. Like be a devotee, right? Be a devotee means, yes, we, somehow or other, right? We offer everything, right? For the pleasure of the Lord. Bhakta, right? Bhakta means, that's our acharyas. They are just, extending themselves, just bhajo Krishna, bolo Krishna, karo Krishna siksha, just, follow this process of bhakti and be a devotee. Just always think of me, always remember me, always, do your, offer your bhav, to me, right? And so bhakta means what? Just simple, oh Lord, I am yours. Just we say these things. What is it? Oh Lord, I am yours, right? That tava asmi. Tava asmi. You have heard that Vibhishan and Ram pastime, right? Lord Ram said, whoever says Tava asmi, I'll take care of him. Right? So yes, you have to just come in front of the Lord. Oh Lord, I don't have anything myself. Right? And I have what I have is only you. Right? All the other things that I have, it's just a matter of time, they will run away. They will go away. Right? Right? But the only thing that can remain is our faith, our connection to the Supreme Lord. And that's where I can invest. All other things, they will go bankrupt. So we should really put some money where there is eternal. Where there's eternal, we'll get multifold returns from our stocks, right? And that account that we have is with Krishna. And then fourth is Sangha Varjita. Sangha Varjita means, free from. Yes, we are progressing positively. At the same time, we should also get rid of the bad things also. So especially, there is this very beautiful pastime once again. You might have heard of Bakasura in Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, there's a Bakasura, right? Like during this Eka Chakra, when this Pandavas were staying in exile, right? They were staying in one lady's house. And somehow or other, there used to be this Bakasura, this demon used to come again and again to attack. And somehow all these villagers, they had a deal with that Bakasura. Okay, you don't come, we'll send every day one full cart of, all the sweets and food grains, and also we'll send that bullock cart, with one driver, and you can take everybody as your meal for that day, and so that you will not disturb anyone and everyone on every day, right? Okay. And on one fine day, this rotation came to this house of this lady who had just only one son, and he was literally crying, oh, what will happen to me now? Now my son will really go and be killed by this Bakasura. And somehow, though Kunti was there, right, with the 5 sons, she was saying, why are you crying? Oh, this is what it is. Oh, why you are worried about it? I'll send one of my son. I have 5 sons. I'll send one of them. I said, no, you are my guest. How can you really give any inconvenience to you? Don't worry. My son Bhim, he will take care. Right? Right? And then Bhima, he was always looking for some opportunity, right? And then Bhim, he kind of took all this cart, and he was really hungry for so many days, right? And he was saying, oh, it's a really great day. He was really eating, and by the time he reached the forest near the Bakasura, it was empty. And then once the Bakasur saw that he's coming with an empty cart, he started kind of giving a big kick to Bhim. And what Bhim did, he was really eating and he was pushing him. Right? So what is this? A very beautiful lesson that we can learn. What is Bhim doing? He was really eating, and he was really pushing Bakasura. So you have to engage positively and you have to stay away from the negative. You have to push all the negative demons in our life. We have to stay away from all the bad things, bad habits, bad association. Sangha varjita. We should karanam guna sangha. So we are what we associate with. Our attitude and actions. Please hear carefully. Our attitudes and actions is determined by the average of the closest 5 persons that we are associated with. Whatever their attitudes and actions, that really influences us. So that's why they say, right? You tell us who are your friends, we will tell you who you are. Right? So our attitudes and actions depends on who we are associating with. Right? So we should ensure that we are not only taking care of the friend circle of our kids, but also what is our friend circle as well, to whom we are associating with. Right? So yes, that is the fourth point, Sankavarjita. And the fifth point is Nirvaira Sarva Bhutesu. We should not have any inimical attitude to anyone. Right? How we should maintain friendly relationship with everyone. Right? A devotee has no enemies. He is Ajata Satru. Right? He's always thinking that he's a well-wisher of everyone. That is a quality of a devotee. Not only that, so what he does, he tapyanta loka tapena, right? He performs so many voluntary austerities so that everybody gets benefited. That's the reason all the devotees during this month of like December, January, they really go out on the street and they distribute, giving this formula of going back to Godhead. They distribute these tickets of going back to Godhead. Now, please take this ticket of going back to Godhead. And they say that, no, I don't have time to take this ticket to go back to Godhead. Or somebody says, oh, I have it. I have the ticket. But I don't know what flight to take, what time it comes, how to go. They don't know. Because that's what we ask. Do you have Bhagavad Gita? But do you know? Are you reading the Bhagavad Gita? They said, no, we'll read it. But yes, we should really spend time with Bhagavad Gita. It's just like, Krishna has sent a message to all of us, right? If a friend has sent a message to all of you in WhatsApp, if you don't read the message, will your friend be happy? Not only you don't read the message, but also you don't respond the message also. Will you be happy? Right? Will that friend be happy? Yes, Krishna is the supreme, Suhrudam Sarva Bhutanam. He is the well-wishing friend of everyone. And he has just sent a message with this Bhagavad Gita. And if you don't read it, and we just don't follow it, will you be happy? No. Yes, that's what Lord is saying. Now, you please take this message. You read this message and you share this also with others so that everybody will get benefited. Right? And finally saying, Yosa Mameti Sa Pandava. By doing these 5 things, you will come back to me. Isn't it so wonderful? Yes, you are still having doubt whether it will work or not, right? Our Acharya is saying that, yes, this is the Vaikuntha thinking. Vaikuntha thinking means, everybody should really appreciate whatever the service they are doing for the service of the Lord, right? There should be no kind of an envy towards, there is no enmity between the servants of the devotees. We should really cooperate together. We should help each other, support each other to serve the Supreme Lord. So that we can really create a Vaikuntha even in this material world. That is way, not only we have to wait till the end of the life to go to Vaikuntha, but here in this material world, we can really stay in a Vaikuntha. Srila Prabhupada ki. Any questions, comments? Yes, everybody remembered these 5 steps? What are the 5 steps? First one is Mat Karma Kran. We should engage all our activities for the pleasure of the Lord. Second, Mat Parama. We prioritize Lord Krishna and the Bhakti. And then you be a devotee. Third, fourth is Sangha Varjita. We free from the bad association, bad habits and bad things. And fifth is Nirvaira Sarva Bhutesu. How we should not have any enemies. We should be friend to everybody. Okay, any questions, comments? So I would request all of you to take this Bhagavad Gita with really having these tickets and you get really benefited, and you share also this Bhagavad Gita with everyone, right? Yes, so unfortunate that some of people don't realize the value of this book. The Lord that He has really sent this message, how we can really take it seriously, sincerely, and really apply it in our life, and we really get benefited. We can really have that Vaikuntha atmosphere where we really don't feel that anxiety. It is an etahadiyatura chittanam matra sparsa ichhayamuhu bhava sindhu plavadrashta haricharyanuvarnanam. So by just discussing this pastimes from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, right, we'll be free from chinta, we'll be free from any anxiety, right? So that's why, once you come in this, sadhu sangha, in a circle of the devotees, at that point of time, at least, we don't think of any anxieties. Why? Because we are associating with the Lord. Yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatta tishtami narada. Lord is saying, Naham tishtami Vaikunthe, yoginam hridayasma. I don't stay in Vaikuntha, or I don't stay in the heart of the, some yogis. I stay wherever my devotees are chanting and singing the glories of the Lord. Yes, our whole purpose of life should be how we can dedicate ourselves in Nam, Roop, Guna, Lila of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments from anyone? Yes, bro. What is it?
I don't remember the sloka, but the sloka says that if you pray to demigods or anyone, you will go to them. But if you pray to me, you will go to the Golo.
Yes.
The difference, first thing is what is the meaning of that? What are the looks and the why like that in that sloka? I don't remember the sloka. And second question, what is the difference between Goloka and
Yes. In the spiritual world, there are so many planets are there. Yes. So, just like, a governor's house, they would have multiple rooms. One have a living room, another is a bedroom, another is a kids room, another is a, gym room and all that. Similarly, in the spiritual world also, Lord has many rooms, right? One room for Ayodhya, Lord Ram, one room for the Dwarkadhis, another room for Mathuradhis, another room for Vrindavan, who is always happy in playing, right? And I see, especially in this 11th chapter also, Lord showed, Arjuna, right? This universal form. Seeing that universal form, Arjuna got really bewildered. Oh, I'm really getting scared. Who are you? Please show me your beautiful Sam Sundar form. And then same Vishwarupa, universal form, really manifested as a Krishna, and he was really very happy. Right? Yes, we are given this topmost opportunity from whom everything comes. Aham sarvasya prabhu mata sarvam pravartate. From Krishna, everyone comes. Yeah? Jai Gaura, say Krishna, say Jagannath. Same person who is Jagannath, he is Krishna. He is Ranganath. He is Dwarkanath. He is everyone, but he is really playing different roles in different places. Somewhere he is acting as a, as a acting in the office. Somewhere he is acting as a, playing with his friends. Somewhere, he's playing the role of, spending time as a king. So he has a different roles in different places, but he's the same person. But he has a mood is different. Yes. But at the same time, here at the end of the same purport, Prabhupada mentions that, yes, as corroborating all the acharyas, when Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, they're saying, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda. Oh Krishna, you are the topmost. From whom everything, all the bhavas, all the topmost bhavas is a Purna Purushottama Sri Krishna. That's why he says, Krishna is having all the manifest, all the modes he's really manifesting in the form of Krishna. Yes. Any other questions, comments? Okay. All clear? Yes, please.
In that case, I mean, how can I, push myself to wake up at 5 a.m. It's very tough, even though I really want to.
Yes, yes. Very good, very good. So, it is mentioned that, last time also we talked about it a little bit, that whatever we want to do, first of all, we should have a strong purpose. Why we want to do it. Right? Once we have the conviction, then we should ensure that I plan accordingly. I plan the what is it called? I facilitate accordingly. What is a facilitation? Means I really wake up, I sleep early. I wrap up all my activities, right? Because most of the time, sometimes like we work late with our stakeholders, or we have to take care of our kids and so on. But then we can really make an habit. We can really set that expectation either with our stakeholders, with our children, so that how we can really wrap up our things early in the day, right? So that we can really go to bed early, because especially in our Gita circle, Gita's right kind of course, we showed you one video also. Anybody remembers, right? Why billionaires or the CEOs, the most successful people, they wake up early in the morning, right? Because the earlier you sleep, especially 10 to 12 or 12 to 4, to this sleeping during that time, it really brings a lot of positive energy, and you really get rid of all the anarthas. And early in the morning, or even our creativity becomes also very sharp, right? It's very smooth. So yes, for multiple purposes, we would really like to wake up in the morning, but we have to facilitate ourselves, so that we don't go into the snooze mode, right? Because once you snooze means we are bold. the first thing you do it, right? You are really getting bold, right? Yes, if you made up our mind because we have planned something, we should follow it. We should follow it. Like, and it means that it's not that okay, if you waking up, let's say 7 o'clock in the morning, you might not wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's try 6:45 for a week. Another week, let's plan for 6:30. Another week, let's plan for 6:15. Then 6 o'clock. Step by step, 15 minutes each. Right? If you are sleeping at 10:30 or 11 o'clock, let's 10:30, 10:15, 10 o'clock. Just last time you remember we talked about 3 things. Right? Start small, incremental it, and do it consistently. Right? It's the same formula. Right? That's what we do it, and then right we will be successful. Right? And yes, materially also it is really helpful. Just I wanted to say another beautiful slide. Okay, what is this? This is what the formula that we talked about last time. Okay, we should have a strong conviction, we have a strong why, and then we should have also somebody who is really accountable, right? With which we can confide our heart, who can really help, who can give us the helping hand, and then we can create that environment, right? This is what the association that we talked about last time, right? And we should create an environment which can really facilitate us, and then consistently we really work on it, right? And then, and especially once you do this, get the spiritual strength, the spiritual energy, by taking shelter of the Lord. So then we purify all our bad tendencies, sinful tendencies, right? And through that we really get the strength to follow the right thing. Because sometimes we have the discrimination. Yes, what is right and wrong, we follow the right, but to go in that path of right, we need also some strength, and we get that strength by praying to Lord Balaram. Lord, by praying to the Lordships, they give us the spiritual strength to walk on the path of right. And still, that's what we are talking about. To pray, we pray to the Lord. Oh he Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Eda se Karuna Kori. Oh Lord, I don't have any strength. Please give me the strength so that I can walk the right path. Right? Prayers have a tremendous power. It is a prayer is a bridge between what is current reality and the aspiration that we have. Prayer is the bridge to connect between where we are and where we want to achieve. Right? Yes, we have to put our effort. At the same time, on our own, we cannot do anything. We need the Lord's mercy. That's why we say that we have to put our effort in such a way that the result depends on our work, and also we have to pray such that all the result depends on the prayers. So you have to put both our endeavor and also you have to depend on the mercy of the Lord. Make sense? Hare Krishna. Any other questions, comments from anyone? Yes.
Like this verse 11 point, but all these steps are to aid you in the final examination that we have talked about later, or like you go through some other destination in that final examination, or these two are like how they are correlated or like separate.
Yes, Lord is saying, like Arjuna had also the same doubt, right? Oh Lord Krishna, you are talking about so many of these processes. what will happen, right? If somehow or other I'm not prepared for the final exam, or if I fail in the final exam, Lord says, I'll take care of you. Don't worry. Because you have prepared so sincerely. You have prepared so sincerely, I will take care of you. Right? So yes, yes, because what really, Lord Krishna saying and again here is that, nimitta matra bhava sabyasachi, right? I have already taken care of killing all these enemies. You just be an instrument. That instrument, we just following all this activity to purify ourselves. Right? Lord does not need our bhakti. Right? And we are also at no point of time will be qualified enough also to go back to Godhead. Right? It's not that we can say to Lord, I am now qualified. I am following these 5 processes very systematically, thoroughly. I now deserve it. No point of time we deserve. Right? We are not qualified. But then that trigger, that our, just like child. Right? I always give this example. You might have heard it multiple times. Right? Like how one small grandson, he was going with the grandfather. Right? And the grandfather had that letter to put in the post box. And then the grandson said, oh, Papa, Dada, I want to put that letter into the letter box, during the old days. Right? And then he was jumping, to put that letter into the letter box. What he did? Was he successful? No. But then seeing that enthusiasm of the grandson, what the grandfather did? He lifted that grandson. And he easily kind of put it. So you have to just jump. That's what in Kirtan we come and jump. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. Yes, with by our jumping will not go back to Godhead. But I am trying my best. I am trying my best. Right? And then our acharyas, they will lift us. Come, we'll take you. So that you can really fly. And you can go back to Godhead. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Makes sense? Is there anything that we can do? Once again, like last on the first also, we had requested all of you to take a couple of minutes, right, to write down. So because most of the times, what do? We hear a lot of things, but then as soon as we come out of this door, we forget everything. So I would request all of you, just please spend 2 minutes once again, right? We heard many topics today, right? What is the 1 or 2 things that you can really taking as a takeaway, that you can really implement in your life? You can make a difference in your life, right? Please take a minute or 2 and just write it down, put it on the paper. That, what are those 1 or 2 activities, like that we talked about 5 activities, what you can really do. Okay, yes, please take a minute. Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
We're struggling in this, material world, like starting beginning with your entrance exams, IIT ka tayari karna hai. Then the corporate world, the structure is so designed that you have to compete. Otherwise, you are in the last 10%. So everybody's trying to compete. So we have over so many years developed this competition mentality naturally because of this whole system. So how can we take small steps on measurable practical steps to come on?
Yes, bro. So we have so much of this competitive mentality, right? How can you really get rid of that? So at least, we can be competitive, right? But at the same time, not at the cost of others. Nirvaira, we should not be inimical towards anyone. We should not really feel ill of anyone. Right? Let's not drag someone so that we want to be the first. Let's try our best, right? During this our book distribution, all our temples, all our centers, they have also desire. We also try. Oh, this center distributed, 5,000 books. This center distributed 50,000 books. Yes, aham purva. We also want to do something more for the pleasure of the Lord, right? And similarly, one center went, they told their spiritual master, oh, spiritual master, oh, Guru Maharaj, please bless us that we will become fast. Do you know what was the answer of that spiritual master, that sannyasi? What he said? Yes, I bless you that you double what you did last year. At the same time, you be the last. Right? Right? Yes. There is enough for everyone to really grow. We don't really have to go in the rat race. Right? That is a Vaikuntha mentality. How we can really help each other. Right? Somewhere in the, I think there was one sports and a champion. He was also saying, because of my competition, I really grew up to a better sports person. Because of this, another, competitor. Yes, we can take that opportunity to be a better version of ourselves. Not really kind of, really degrade ourselves to kill one. You see, so many things are happening otherwise. Right? I heard that there was one training institute, and he was having a training institute, and one of the faculty of the training institute, he went and he started another training institute. Once he started the training institute, just in a matter of 2 years, he came up with another 5 centers in a place called Latur, and this was the news in 2019 July, right? And this person was the, who started, was the original training institute guy. Once he heard that, the guy who went out and started training institute, now he has become so successful, and just one fine day, he, or one bad day, he went and he really just killed him. Right? This is the news that is really happening. Right? Because people are so mad, right? Just to kind of keep themselves in the center. Right? All this, whatever is really happening on all over the world, to establish, oneself as the supreme. Right? Just, everybody is just trying to Jorjar Mulaktar, they say, right? Just survival of the fittest. But it's not that, Lord has given everything, for us to really survive and to go back to Godhead. We don't have to really, fight like these cats and dogs. That's what the whole, Srila Prabhupada has taught us. We can really have like we go to our, some of our temples where we see that people from all over the world, all over the India, they come together and they serve together. How? Because the Krishna is in the center. Because pleasure of the Lord is in the center. We don't have to fight with anyone. Makes sense, bro? Yes, we want to create, this kind of oasis. At least, start with some aspiration that we want to do something, and then we can really we can expand the community, right? With that, it's Amrit Bapu Prabhu is there. So with that, we are planning to encourage everyone to write Bhagavad Gita, right? Encourage everyone to study Bhagavad Gita, right? And last time you heard on the first, there was this small girl, right, called Sebia, who was chanting sincerely. She came up with a beautiful idea. So she said, Prabhuji, can we not really inspire and encourage everyone, to write Bhagavad Gita, to study Bhagavad Gita? And how do you do it? And she said, Prabhuji, let's kind of, give some time for everyone to write Bhagavad Gita. Let's give a notebook and, over a period of now 7 to 8 months, let them write whole 700 Bhagavad Gita. Right? And then we'll kind of give some, do some gift, and then we'll do something. So we're planning to launch it. So this year is the 52nd year of Lord's appearance. So, our desire is that we offer it to our Lordship, Lord Jagannath, Lord Krishna, on this Janmashtami. 52 written Bhagavad Gita copies at his lotus feet. Is it possible? Still somehow doubtful, right? Yes, this is the desire of Prabhuji's daughter who was singing on the first, right? The Sevya. That's her desire. That you want to share anything, Prabhuji? That we said that we wanted to encourage, like in our apartment communities, in our friend circle. We don't just take this Bhagavad Gita. We'll give you a notebook. You have to just write every day 3 to 4 slokas. So by the end of Janmashtami, you will be writing, you would have written all the 700 slokas. But once you write, definitely, you would read that, what exactly the meaning of that, you'll recite it. So that's what we say, write, recite, and submit the 700 verses. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So basically, once somebody is desiring something, we all have to come together to fulfill the desire. That is how the Bhakta association of the Satsanga is, right? Sadhu Sangha. So if some devotee has a desire, how can we come together and fulfill that is our duty, right? So we have to go out and ask our friends, colleagues, and family members to contribute their writing. And because they can write, I understand that you can read yourself and you can listen to the lecture and you can forget. But when you start writing, you can get imprinted into your mind. And that imprint, when that thing is imprinted in your mind, it is not getting imprinted only for this lifetime. It is for eternal journey. So I would say, I would request to everyone that please come forward and take this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Haribo! This is the desire of a small girl, right? What a desire can really manifest, we'll see. All of you are agreeing to support it? Yes. Only one girl cannot do it, or only her father cannot do it. But yes, this is a Vaikuntha mentality once again. We all come together, right? We can just take a commitment for 100, 200, or 500, whatever it is, right? We'll speak to our friends so that they can write this Bhagavad Gita, right? And let's offer it at the lotus feet of the Lordships on Janmashtami. Okay? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And we have some announcement as well for next Sunday.
Hare Krishna. So this Friday, coming Friday, we have Ekadashi, which is Vaikuntha Ekadashi. The fast taking time for the next day is 6:44 a.m. to 8:23 a.m. On Vaikuntha day, that is on 10th Friday, from morning 5 o'clock, 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., devotees will be distributing books at different locations, 5 locations. All those details will come on the messages. So if you can find time, you can talk to them and go and visit and support this book distribution program, which will happen from morning 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday 10th of January. Okay? So messages will come, please follow them. And also for those devotees who could not collect last week certificates on completion of Bhagavad Gita course, we are going to issue them on 19th, because next Sunday we will not be having program here, there is another program. So therefore on 19th we send you messages, kindly come and collect your completion certificate, Gita course completion certificate. Please inspire your other friends as well to come and collect it.
And 12th.
12th is not there.
We can announce it. So you have been to our Whitefield temple land, which is around just 3 kilometers from here. So there will be a grand program on next Sunday. So Srila Prabhupada's 2 disciples, His Holiness Prabhu Swami Maharaj and Prabhu Swami Maharaj and His Holiness Indra Swami Maharaj, they will travel all over the world for preaching this Krishna consciousness, like all over the world. We can send you some of their details as well. Right? So they will be coming down here. They will be spending, Sunday half day with us. In this nearby place, just hardly a couple of kilometers from here. We'll be sending you this invitation, and I request all of you to please fill up that Google form so that we have clarity of the number of forms. So we are really expecting around 800 to 1,000 devotees. So yes, it's a really big pandal program that we'll be having, starting from 7 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock we have breakfast, 7 to 8. From 8 to 10, we'll be hearing about what the activities that we organized by this ISKCON Whitefield in the various places like Sarjapur, Kanamangala, ACS layout, Kagdashpura, and all these areas, how different programs like this are happening, how the different devotees are getting inspired. We'll be hearing that. And then we'll be hearing from these 2 Prabhupada's disciples, right? How we can really progress in our Krishna consciousness. Right? And then we'll hear about how there's a new temple also coming out there. All these things, and with the street as well, all these things will be having a wonderful time next Sunday, 12th of January, from morning till 12 p.m. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Looking forward to meet you there next Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Quickly we have Nasim prayers, and then we'll go for Prasad. Namaste Narasimha. हिरण्याकाशी पूर्वशः Thank you very much. Proceed for the prasad.